Hey, welcome to today's Masterclass. We're going to dive right in and get started. This is the perfect masterclass for you if you are a successful, driven, and an ambitious woman. You're someone who makes decisions quickly and you're self-reliant. You want to feel inspired by your life and feel energized and feel alive. You crave a life of freedom and liberation, and you want more. And you're ready to create the life you've always dreamed of having. To get the most out of this training, you'll want to make sure that you have a few sheets of paper and a pen or pencil nearby because you're going to go through exercises that will help you get what you want. Today, you're going to learn how you can create a life that excites you and gives you meaning without living the status quo, wasting time, and looking back on your life with regret. The number one belief you must stop believing if you want to quickly reach your goal of creating a life that inspires you. My step-by-step method to uncover your dream goals, increase your happiness, and fast-track your success. How to make the most out of life and accomplish what you want. What you need to do to move past limitations, doubt, and fear. And how to clearly identify what you want so you can get it. Make sure you eliminate all distractions so you can focus on creating an exciting life. So close out your Skype, close out your computer tabs, close out Facebook and Twitter, and silence your mobile phones. And you can relax because there's nothing for sale today. I'm going to be giving you some essential ingredients here that you'll be able to put into action during our time together and implement right away. I know that some of you will want to take this further, so before we conclude, I'll invite you to learn how you can take what we've done today and build on it to achieve your dreams. My goal today is to help you get started on a new path that will help you make the most out of life and accomplish what you want. Have you experienced this before? Your life is pretty good and you're successful, but you feel like there's something missing. You have this feeling that there's something more, and that once you put your finger on it to identify it, you can create a new life that creates even more success and happiness for you. But you're not sure what it is. Or if you do know, you're not sure that you can accomplish it, or there's something holding you back from accomplishing it. And you're going through each day like you're on autopilot, and you realize that the clock is ticking. And you aren't getting any younger. And it's as if you're at a crossroads and there's an uneasy feeling inside of you because you want your life to be different and you want more. You're looking for something that makes you come alive and feel energized and excited about your day because you've felt restless, bored, or maybe even anxious for too long. You're a creative person. And you feel like there's a part of you that's waiting to birth from inside of you. And she wants to express herself fully in a myriad of ways. Maybe you suffer from perfectionism, and that stops you from reaching your bigger goals, and it keeps you locked in place. Maybe you're a spiritual seeker searching for higher truths and yearning for a sense of peace. You may want to develop your intuition more fully and grow spiritually, expanding into a greater awareness of who you are. And you're proud of the success that you've achieved, but you're at a turning point, and you're finally ready to really put yourself first. You think to yourself, there's got to be more to life than this, because you want to live an exceptional life, and you're ready to break through anything that stands in your way. If you can relate to this, don't worry. I have something that you're going to want to hear. It's important to identify what the real problem is so that you can move forward. The real problem is that your needs and desires aren't being fully expressed. The real problem is that your creativity isn't being fully harnessed and expressed. The real problem is that things are pretty good for you, but you aren't actualizing your infinite potential. The real problem is that you need clarity to take inspired action. And if you don't, this causes boredom, anxiety, and suffering. It causes missed opportunities, and it causes you not to live the life of your dreams, which causes frustration and sadness. The solution is to change your inner blueprint. The solution is to say yes to yourself and what you want in this very moment. The solution is to allow what you want to be greater than any fear or doubt that you may be experiencing. The solution is to put your needs and desires first. The solution is to develop your intuition more fully and really trust yourself, and no longer live from a place of reactivity. And the solution is to transform. Imagine making your life even better than it is now and tapping into your infinite creative potential. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Can you imagine never having to feel like there's something that's missing, feeling bored or anxious, or looking back on your life with disappointment? Don't get me wrong, it's not that your life is bad. In fact, it's probably been pretty good up to this point. But that feeling inside of you is calling for something different, something more. And you're ready to actualize the unlimited creative potential that lies inside of you and take giant strides towards your goals. Think about it. What would that do for you to start working towards your dream goal? Now, before moving forward, it's key that you listen up to what I'm going to share with you in this training, because it could mean the difference between waking up each day and feeling excited, inspired, and alive, or continuing to be saddled with that feeling of uneasiness or boredom that can turn into anxiety and suffering if you let it go on for too long. So let's begin. If you're like so many women who are nearing or in the second half of your life, you may find that you're at a turning point. You are successful and ambitious. You've accomplished a lot in your life already. Raised your kids if you've had kids, are financially successful, have great friends and a nice house, great relationships. And you look back on your life and you realize that you've given a lot to others. And now it's time to put yourself first. Really put yourself first by making your dreams a reality. If you're like many of the women I work with, you've probably been thinking about creating your dream life for a long time. Or maybe even you've headed in that direction, but you're not there yet. And by dream life, I mean a life that lights you up on the inside, where you're expressing yourself fully, embracing your creativity, and every day feels joyful and aligned with what you want. Perhaps fear, self-doubt, or lack of clarity have crept in and stopped you from moving forward and reaching your dreams. It can feel so frustrating to partially reach a goal just to see your limitations or lack of clarity hold you back. Well, by the end of this presentation, I'm going to share with you a tested and proven method to identify your dream life and the steps to take to get you there. The truth is, I wasn't always a mindset expert helping people create their dream life. In fact, the first time I tried to create a life that supported me and made me feel energized and alive, I got part of the way there, but I felt like I wasn't super clear about what I really wanted and the steps to take to get me there. Plus, I had subconscious beliefs that were holding me back. I felt overwhelmed and frustrated, and truthfully, I'd always put everybody else's needs before my own, and deep down, I felt guilty about pursuing my own dreams. Despite what other people saw on the outside, I haven't always been super put together, and I certainly never would have considered myself a mindset expert. I wasn't born a master at navigating my beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, and I never would have thought that I would masterfully help other people traverse theirs to create what they want. That would have been such a foreign concept to the old me. I was living the status quo, and I was used to a subpar life, and as hard as I tried, I just wasn't happy. I had everything, and yet I knew there was something missing. I've come a long, long way from where I once was. I was not always the strong woman I am now who's living a fulfilling life. I was riddled with fear and anxiety. I lacked confidence. My relationships were suffering, and I was lost in my thoughts and emotions. I was very self-critical. I was a perfectionist, and I felt like I had to walk on eggshells around other people. I was afraid to be my true self, and I put their needs before my own. There were many days when I felt absolutely exhausted because I had nothing left to give of myself. My anxiety was intensifying, and I felt like there was an internal pressure inside of me, and I was ready to explode. Life can feel challenging at times, as I'm sure it's felt challenging for you. Who I am today was birthed through challenge. I experienced severe trauma that was so bad, it's a miracle I'm alive right now. I went through hell, and here's why. I suffered severe sexual and sadistic ritual abuse as a child. My father committed suicide when I was young, and I had many other drama-filled life challenges. My trauma shaped my beliefs and emotions in a way that kept me from creating the life I wanted. I tried to make changes in my life, and after a little progress, I would come back to a life that I was trying to get away from. I felt hopeless. I was having full-blown panic attacks, I had raging PTSD, and my self-esteem was almost non-existent. This meant that I kept attracting partners in my life who were incapable of loving me because I had core beliefs that I wasn't lovable. So it turned into a self-fulfilling prophecy. At every turn, there was new chaos and new drama because I only knew that to be normal. My name is Aminette Burgueño, and I'm a mindset expert, hypnotist, and coach. But more importantly, I'm a person who overcame the deep sadness of my childhood and created the life of my dreams. Despite knowing what I know now, I can understand how frustrating it might be not to be where your heart wants you to be. It took me a while to create a life that lights me up, but I wasted a lot of time and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. Luckily for me, through a lot of trial and error, I've developed a system that helps women move past their limitations to create a life that excites them and inspires them. This is the system I've used to help women create their dream life while tapping into their creativity to express their soul's highest aspiration without giving up what they love about their life now. Let's look to Kate for an example. Kate is driven and ambitious. When she makes up her mind to do something, she usually gets what she wants. When I started working with Kate, she was feeling blocked. There was something that was preventing her from moving forward, and she couldn't figure out what it was. It was driving her nuts. She had everything she'd ever wanted, and she was financially successful. Great friends, great relationships, great career, and a great life. She was truly bothered by this feeling that she was experiencing because it didn't make sense given her present situation. When we partnered together, we uncovered that she had deeper desires that she wasn't acknowledging. When she was young, she had always dreamed of being a writer. She had a real knack for writing, but never thought of herself in that way and stopped writing when she reached adulthood. She discovered that she had subconscious beliefs ingrained deep within her that prevented her from ever pursuing her dream of becoming a writer. And it was as if a part of her, a very important and expressive part of herself, had been silently suffering. We charted a path to Kate becoming a writer, and she flew into action to get what she wanted. As she moved forward, we navigated long-held doubts and fears that were outside of her conscious awareness, and we worked through her ingrained, unhelpful beliefs that were preventing her from taking action. Because Kate acknowledged herself as a creative being, she is now able to listen to her intuition more fully, and her life has opened up to her in many other ways, and she's had many other opportunities. And best of all, she's happier than she was before. She wakes up excited and inspired about her day because she's no longer suppressing her deepest desires. She's freed up more energy to do the things that she loves. Kate's story is indicative of the freedom and liberation that you too can obtain. I want you to imagine for a second that you've taken heed to my words and you will take massive action on what I'm going to ask you to do today. Picture in your mind a life that suits every need and fills you up every day. You wake up excited about your day and you're liberated and you feel free. You lead your life by following your intuition, and you have a space inside of you to let your creativity flow out of you while fulfilling your heart's deepest calling. You've released your limitations, and now you have ample energy to get what you want. I'll share all of these strategies with you in a second, but first, I'm going to share with you some insider information. This is typically the root cause of the issues you face today. If you're listening to this presentation, it's not because you're looking for a shortcut or a magic wand to get what you want. No, more than likely it's because you've had this desire and implemented some action steps to get what you want, and you're determined to overcome letting your limitations stop you from achieving your dream life. Like many of my clients, you've been conditioned to believe that you can't have it all, that if your life is good, that's good enough, that you shouldn't want more. However, this couldn't be further from the truth, and this doesn't mean that you let go of your life as it is now, but what it does mean is that you enrich it to a point that you're lit up and feel truly inspired and alive. There's a better way than settling for the status quo, even if your status quo is good or even great. If you don't move forward in a new way, you'll more than likely continue to feel unsettled, bored, anxious, or even start to get depressed because you aren't fulfilling your deeper yearning. That's what happened to me. I worked through my past issues of my abuse and created a really good life for myself. I love my career and I work with amazing women, and I make great money. I work from home, and I can do a lot of my work in my pajamas in my bed if I want to. Doesn't get much better than that. But I had this unsettled, anxious feeling inside of me that didn't make sense given my situation. I had everything I ever wanted. I had what other people dreamed of having, and I was starting to fall apart, and I felt totally depressed. I wasn't having enough fun. I couldn't see how I could shift my life enough to embody this feeling of aliveness that I wanted again. And that's when I began to realize that I'm also very creative. I had this creative person inside of me that I had totally forgotten about. I branched out to explore my creativity, and I found acting and writing. Once I started down that path, my life became enriched, and I feel reinvigorated and renewed. I've made my great life even better, and now I'm happier than ever. I also realized that if I'm not learning or growing in some way, I feel like I'm slowly dying on the inside, even if my life is perfect. Luckily, as of today, you won't fall victim to any of this any longer. And by refusing to believe that it's not all right to have more, you'll be that much closer to identifying a life that lights you up, which means you can create it. I mean, really think about it. How amazing would it be to have access to the exact strategies that would virtually ensure your success and ultimately give you the ability to live fully? To look back on your life in your older years and really feel good about the life you lived and the way you lived it. This is what I've done for myself, and this is what I've done for my clients, and this is what I can do for you too. As promised, I want to share some of my strategies with you today to help create the awareness you need to move forward. Grab your pencil and paper, and remember, you can pause the presentation to write out your answers if you want to. We're going to cover some strategies and insights that will help you create your dream life starting today. And you can do this faster than you ever thought possible. First, let's consider how your mind works. When we are stuck in patterns of behavior that aren't getting us what we want, the problem is that your mind is running you. And when you change your mind, you change your life. Once you change your mind, you are free to create the life you want and feel happier. Your conscious mind is the tip of the iceberg, and underwater is your vast subconscious mind. And the trouble is that your conscious mind is the most limited part of your mind, and it only processes about 7 to 9 bits of information at a time. It's the rational and analytical part of your mind, and you can always make some changes here using willpower, but they are typically short-lived. And an example of this is the millions of people who make New Year's resolutions and never reach them. In order to make lasting change, you need to tap into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the literal, feeling, and imaginative part of your mind, and it holds all of your permanent memories. It's like a library of your experiences, and it's unlimited in its capacity. It works by association and resonance, and it's where your inner blueprint lies. Its job is to make sure that it responds exactly the way it's programmed, even if your conscious mind wants something else. What's happened to bring you where you are right now? Your subconscious beliefs formed, which have created your thoughts from your past, your present thoughts now, and the thoughts about your future. Your beliefs and thoughts create your feelings, which have led to your past and present behaviors, which have gotten you your current level of happiness and your current life results. It's kind of like your computer's hardware is your physical brain, and your operating system is comprised of beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It runs exactly the way it's programmed to do, and to get your computer to do something different than it's programmed, you need to change the code. You also need to make sure that your computer is running efficiently by purging files that are slowing things down. Let's do some work on this together now and jump right into strategy number 1. You need to decide that a good life is not what your heart and soul are desiring. Your desire is for more. It's for an exceptional life, and that exceptional life will be unique to you. You need to work through your limitations so that you can achieve your exceptional life. There's some internal conflict that's holding you back from having this life, or you aren't clear on what you really want or the action steps to take, or you wouldn't even be listening now because you'd already be living your dream life. And you need to fully commit to your goal and take the action steps required to get you what you want. It's interesting because there's so many women who actually have a really good idea of what they want, and they can even feel completely aligned and inspired when they've uncovered what their heart desires. But then their conscious mind kicks in and tells them why they can't have it. Or there's some other doubt or fear that pops up and stops them in their tracks. You also need to explore creative outlets to bring into your life. You have a creative side to you, whether you think of yourself as creative or not. When you activate your creative side, it allows you to be present in the moment and hear your soul. And trust me when I tell you, she's going to have a lot to say to you. All right, let's jump into strategy number 2. You need to clearly identify what you want by asking yourself powerful questions. This allows you to access your subconscious mind or higher mind. Then you need to change your mind so that it'll work for you instead of against you. But how do you do that? First, you need to let go of your self-limiting thoughts. The self-limiting thoughts of your inner critic, your inner perfectionist, the voice of your mother, your father, your partner, or whomever. Those thoughts and voices will only serve to take you out of identifying a clear vision and taking action towards it. Next, you need to change your inner blueprint. We all have an inner blueprint that was formed as a result of our past experiences. And even though your life is good now, your inner blueprint is keeping you right where you are, and it's running you on autopilot. Your inner blueprint is made up of subconscious beliefs that shape your thoughts, and your thoughts create your feelings, which drive your behaviors that have gotten you your present life results. Now, as you recall, my own story is an extreme version of how unhealthy subconscious beliefs and patterns can form. But even if you had a very healthy upbringing, your subconscious beliefs can still be holding you back, even if it's in subtle ways. And this subtlety can be really destructive to your dreams and goals and can steal your greater joy and happiness. And finally, strategy number 3. To begin to create a new inner blueprint, we need to engage your subconscious mind to help you uncover what your dream life may be and what would bring more happiness to you. Go ahead and grab your pencil and paper, and I want you to write the sentence at the top of the page that says, I would be happy if. Go ahead and do that. I would be happy if. I'll pause for a second. I want you to just write that sentence at the top of the page. I would be happy if. All right. Now, quickly, I want you to start providing the answer by writing underneath that sentence, I would be happy if, what automatically comes to your mind. And please don't censor yourself here. An example could be, I would be happy if I had a better relationship with my mother. Or, I would be happy if I moved to France and opened a bed and breakfast hotel. Or, I would be happy if I became an artist. I want you to do this quickly. And I want you to do this 15 times, and I'll pause while you do this. Now, take a look at your paper. Are you surprised by some of your answers? Did you dismiss some of your answers like they were stupid or they'd be impossible? Are some of your answers familiar to you? Which answers could you focus on today to bring more happiness in your life? All right, now go ahead and flip your paper over and grab a new sheet if you need it and write the sentence, I would be living my dream life if. Again, the sentence is, I would be living my dream life if. And I want you to repeat the process by letting what first comes to mind fill in the blank. And remember, do this quickly. We don't want your conscious mind interfering, so I want you to just do it as fast as possible so that that conscious mind doesn't interfere with the answer. And remember, don't censor yourself. I would be living my dream life if. Do this 15 times, and I'll pause while you do this. What was the answer that really hit home for you? Does it scare you to think about pursuing it? If it doesn't, Why do you think you might not have taken action steps towards it yet? How would you feel if you achieved this goal? Now, get another piece of paper, and I want you to draw a circle right in the middle of it. And inside of the circle, I want you to write your name. Make sure that you're physically doing this exercise. I don't want you to just do it in your head because we need to actually get all of this out onto paper. All right, now, outside of the circle, I want you to write what you've just uncovered in the past exercises that stands out to you the most, plus anything else you might want that you feel like would make you happy or give your life meaning or excitement. Basically, anything that you can think of that would create your dream life. I'll be silent for a bit so you can complete this exercise, and remember that you can pause the presentation if you need more time. Now, as you look at your paper, I want you to focus on your name inside the circle and notice everything else that's outside of your circle. Those are all the things that are outside of your comfort zone and are counter to your current inner blueprint. I want you to really take this in for a moment because it's important for you to realize that your inner blueprint has been keeping you right where you are and preventing you from having what's outside of your circle. This awareness you have now may feel exciting to you, but you may also feel overwhelmed with it all. Or maybe fears have come up, which is completely and totally understandable. As you reflect back at everything that's outside of your circle that you want, I want you to understand that the reason you haven't gotten it yet is because of the beliefs that you have within your subconscious mind that are counter to what you want. When you have clarity about what you want and you address your beliefs, then you can move forward rapidly. So, where are you now? What is your point A? It's critical that you're honest about where you are right now, because if you aren't, you're wearing rose-colored glasses, and it's likely that you'll be in the same spot 6 months, 1 year, or even 5 years down the line. So take a moment and write down where you are right now. What is your point A? And it can be just a sentence, but I want you to have the clarity you need to break free from what's not working for you. Now, write down your point B, what you want, by looking back at the work we just completed, and write down how you want to feel. So your point B, what you want, look back at the work we just completed for reference, and then write down how you want to feel. Now write down why this is important for you. In other words, what will it do for you to have what you want? Why do you want it now instead of later? Write that down. What have you tried to do in the past to get to your point B? Take a moment and write that down. Finally, what's the cost of you not getting to your point B, but staying right where you are? This could be a cost in terms of financial cost. It could be a cost in terms of relationships, health, whatever that might be for you. I want you to go ahead and write that down now. All right. So when you change your inner blueprint, you change your life. Creating your dream life is as simple as clearly identifying what you want, developing the skills to get it, creating an action plan with attainable goals, and then systematically implementing those action steps. Like literally, that's it. But here's the rub. The reason women don't achieve their dream life is because their inner blueprint is preventing them from taking those action steps all the way through until they have what they want, coupled with lack of true clarity or their doubts or fears preventing them. You may be thinking that you're just busy and you haven't had time to pursue a life that inspires you and makes you come alive. Think about how many other things you make time for. If all you did was set aside a half hour a day towards your goal, you'd get there. Again, we come back to your inner blueprint. There's some internal conflict inside of you that's counter to what you want. Here's what you've learned today. How to create a life that excites you and gives you meaning without living the status quo, wasting time, or looking back on your life with regret. You learned the number one belief you must stop believing if you want to quickly reach your goal of creating a life that inspires you is that you can't have it all if your life is great. You learned my step-by-step method to uncover your dream goals, increase your happiness, and fast-track your success. You learned how to make the most out of life and accomplish what you want. You learned what you need to do to move past your limitations, doubt, and fears. And you learned how to clearly identify what you want so that you can get it. You can do this. You can have it all. I know because I've been there and I've helped hundreds of women. And I can help you too. So here we are at your point A. What will happen if you do absolutely nothing once you've watched this training? If you don't take action now, 6 months from now, when you look back to today, you'll find yourself with the same problems and the same challenges as you have now. You've identified what it would cost you not to achieve your dream life. Are you willing to live with that? If you are willing to live with that, the question you should be asking yourself is why. So your point B, are you ready to race to your dreams? Or are you like a spectator in an event watching other people win the race? A bridge is needed to help you get from your point A to your point B. And there's a canyon in between where you are now and where you want to be. I think you'll agree that you found a massive amount of value in this presentation because you're getting clearer about what you want and what you need to do to get it. And the work we've done today is just the beginning, and you can go much, much deeper. The best time to change is now. I have a resource for you if you're ready to create your dream life and you're ready to change now and do what it takes to get what you want. Let's partner together so I can be by your side while you're taking the next step. I would love to help you by offering you a free Create My Dream Life strategy session where I can help you dive much deeper into the work you've done today so you can begin to take action now to create a life that inspires you and excites you. This resource is for you if you are driven and ambitious. You're willing to work through your limitations, be honest with yourself about what you want, and you're willing to take massive action to create the life of your dreams. It's for you if you're a strong woman, but you still want support because you realize that we can be strong together as you accomplish your goals. It's for you if you like to have fun, joke, and laugh. And it's for you if you're open to exploring your creative side. It's for you if you're someone that makes decisions quickly. This resource is not for you if you aren't truly committed to fulfilling your dream life. It's not for you if you want someone else to do the work for you, or if you aren't willing to make time for creating a new life. It's not for you if you aren't deeply committed to your personal and spiritual development. It's not for you if you're all right with the way things are as they are now. And it's not for you if you want to manifest your dream life. True manifestation is taking inspired action because you listen to your intuition and access your subconscious and higher mind. Then you take massive action to make the life you want a reality, not out of struggle, but through inspired actions that are aligned with your deepest desires and your core values. It's not for you if you don't want to do the inner work of working through your beliefs, thoughts, and emotions so that you can take the right steps towards what you want. And it's not for you if you're not coachable, or you're not open to trying new things and doing things in a new way. On the call, we'll really start working together to move you towards what you want, and we'll figure out how to make it happen in the fastest time possible with predictability. And at the end of the call, one of two things are going to happen. You'll either be a fit, and I'll extend an invitation to work with me as one of my clients, or if it's not a good fit, that's okay too. There'll be no hard feelings or obligations or anything of that sort, and you'll have a clear path and know what you need to do to reach your goals. Either way, you'll receive an insanely valuable strategy session and will walk away with newfound clarity about how to get what you want, what's holding you back from getting it, along with the exact steps necessary to take action towards and break through your barriers. It will likely be the most valuable time to invest in reaching your goals this year. My calendar has limited booking slots available, so with that being said, please understand that this window of opportunity won't be available for long. And what I've found is that those who have the ability to make decisions and act quickly are most likely to get results, and most likely to become my best clients, and we reach all sorts of goals together for years to come. So if you feel like this is right for you, go ahead and book in a call now. To book in your appointment, look for the link or button below the link you clicked on to access this training, or you can go to getscheduled.as.me/create my dream life. When you get to the scheduling page, it'll look like this, and then from there you can set your time zone. Once you set your time zone, you'll be taken to this page here, where you'll pull up my calendar and you'll click on the bolded calendar day to book in a call. From there, you'll access the drop-down menu to access the times available, and then you'll be taken to a questionnaire to fill out. From that point on, you're booked in for a call and you've taken a step towards building a life that you want. It's been such a pleasure connecting with you today. Remember that living the status quo can steal your excitement and your joy, even if your life is pretty great now. Your dream life is right around the corner, but you've got to take action to get what you want. Take the next step and book in a call now, and I'll talk with you soon to help make your vision your reality.